Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, and today I'm gonna be doing a new care guide for the care of Venus flytraps, and I'm going to be calling this care guide fly trap care for dummies. It's because of all the bad information out there, Venus flytraps, especially of all the carnivorous plants, happens to have a bad rap for so-called being a impossible plant to grow, but that's really not the case. It's you let's say you're at Lowe's or a Home Depot and you see a fly trap. It's normally gonna come like this, and it's gonna come of with these care instructions like 65 to 85 degrees Fahrenheit. But fly traps can actually go much lower than this. It's because fly traps themselves, they're not tropical plants themselves. It's because they're not from South America. They're not from the tropics of Borneo. Um, they are just as American as apple pie. They only live natively within a 90-mile radius in a town called Birmingham, North Carolina. That's the only place in the world that you're going to find these plants growing natively. So, which is if you live in the U.S., fly traps grow natively in zone 8. They can grow from zone 8 to zone 10 without much trouble. And when you grow Venus fly traps, grow them outside. It's because that your house is usually not the best of a place for fly traps unless you live in a country or a state that's ridiculously cold. Let's say you live in Michigan, then of course you're going to have to give your fly trap some of winter protection, like a heated shed for the wintertime, because these plants have a dormancy period. It just basically means the plant just going to sleep through the wintertime. Usually about after around Thanksgiving time, maybe sooner. It doesn't wake up till about late February or sometime in March, usually. So when you buy a fly trap like this from the big box stores, you are going to want to take it out of the container. That's the first thing you're going to do. It's because that fly traps do not need as much humidity as most people tend to think they are. That is a very common misconception that fly traps need a crap ton of humidity, and so people often like to put them in places like terrariums, vivariums, which unless you're experienced with these plants and know what you're doing, the plant is going to die. It's because if it doesn't get that dormancy period, it may grow for a few years, then it's going to wither up and die on you. And how if you take care of your fly trap and it's taken care of well enough, fly traps can live for over 20 plus years. And also your windowsill is normally not a good place to grow your fly traps either. The reason why is because if you live in an old house with old windows, they're gonna let in all the light, like of all the UV light. It's good for the plant, but not so good for us humans here. And so the windows we make, which I make now, they block the UV rays, which that the plant needs. And so fly traps can actually go down to can survive temperatures down to 35 degrees Fahrenheit. I don't know what that is in Celsius, but that's pretty cold. That's near freezing. And also when it comes to watering is crucial for these plants. You don't give them tap water unless the mineral content is 50 or less. You can check this by buying a TDS meter. Mine it happens to be in my room right now. Um, is in my room right now. People who tend to use it are people who have pools and people who grow certain plants like carnivorous plants as well as orchids use this to check the water parameters before they give it to their plants, because orchids can be just as sensitive to the water as carnivorous plants are. This is a very healthy plant. Home Depot just must have just gotten these in like a few days to a week ago. That's why this plant looks so well. I see at least a couple of growing points on this plant here, and this here is a flower spike that's about to have come up here. I've actually read online about cutting off the flower stalk. Here's what it means. It takes a lot of energy for this plant to be growing a flower stalk. If your plant looks sad, you just got it, and it needs some time and you want the plant to recover, cut the flower stalk off, and it's going to send that energy right back to the plant. If it's a very healthy looking plant, you can let the plant flower. You can pollinate the flowers, get your own seeds. And the flytrap seeds are the only carnivorous plant seeds which I'm aware of from North America that do not need a stratification period. So if, you can just take some peat moss perlite blend and just lay them out on the soil within a few weeks, they're gonna grow. However, if you cut the flower stalk off, you can actually keep the flower stalk and if I use it for propagation. There are several good videos on YouTube, such as Carnivorous Plants Hub has some very good videos about using the flower stalk for flower stalk propagation. When it comes to soil mixtures and of repotting it, the best time to repot a temperate carnivorous plant like flytraps, or of any other carnivorous plant for that matter, it is best to do it when they're dormant. If it's something, let's say, like this Nepenthes here, Nepenthes don't go dormant. And I mean, it's because of their tropical plants. They just don't. However, when the flytrap is dormant, is the best time to repot your plant. Outside, you don't want to put it in your garden. It's because unless you make a special area in your garden, you cannot plant this in your garden because these plants come from an area where the nutrient content of the soil is so poor. A lot of plants will have trouble trouble growing, and that's why carnivorous plants evolved the way they did, to to supplement the minerals and nutrients that they need from the insects and other little the other little critters that live near it. If you happen to have a young child, or if you're a kid yourself, do not poke and prod at the traps because it takes the plant a lot of energy to have snapped those traps shut, and it takes a lot of energy for them to reopen too. And these plants are basically plants that have fertilized themselves. So you don't really need fertilizers. I never fertilize mine because I'm a little scared to do so. But there are fertilizers out there that you can give carnivorous plants, but unless you're more experienced with these types of plants, I would hold off on trying to fertilize it. When it comes to soil is crucial. You do have your options when it comes to soil, but the main thing to remember, Miracle-Gro is not your friend when it comes to carnivorous plants, because a Miracle-Gro will burn the plant's roots. Doesn't matter if it's a flytrap, Nepenthes, Utricularia, Drosera, whatever kind of carnivorous plant you have, it will burn their roots and it will kill them. You need a mineral nutrient poor soil like peat moss, or you can also use long fibered sphagnum moss. as a planting medium. It's some people like to use peat moss, others like to use of long fibered sphagnum moss mixed with perlite for water retention as well as a little aeration. I'm gonna repot this plant for demonstration reasons. This is some of a mixture I actually made up a little bit earlier. I used this mixture. If you've seen some of my other videos, I was repotting up some of my Utricularia, like this one here, Utricularia sandersonii. I pulled off a little bit within the mug and put some in here, as well as in here, and as well as potted up a new one which I got like a week or so ago right here. This is long fibered sphagnum moss right here. It's mixed with perlite. You can use this, but I would not use a pot this big. I'm getting some of epiphytic Utricularia seeds in the mail here pretty soon. I'm just getting the pot ready to make sure there's going to be over 100 plus seeds. I just want to make sure I have a space to put them all. Okay, when it comes to repotting a carnivorous plant, it's really not that much different than of any other regular plant. When you're repotting a plant, any plant, carnivorous plant or otherwise, you want to go 2 to 3 inches up, because of you don't want to plant the plant, let's say, in here, because it's going to be too big, and it's imagine a kid being in a pool. It's just too much. Same thing with this. The same thing with the carnivorous plant. It's not going to be. It's going to be too much, and it's going to be too much water for even them, because of Venus flytraps like a little bit more water than, let's say, a cactus does, but even the flytrap has its limits. This might be a good fit. Spray some in. I just want to make sure I get all the This is probably gonna be fine. I've had some other Venus flytraps in here, which I put in a couple of my mini bugs, so it should be fine. Okay. This is regular peat moss. No nutrients. When you're buying peat moss or long fibered sphagnum moss, you have to be careful and read the packaging label. It's because of, I've been on these because I'm a member of many of these carnivorous plant Facebook groups, and many people who are new to the group, they're buying and asking about peat moss, whether it's okay for their plants or not, but it's from Miracle-Gro. So you're gonna wanna be careful and make sure you read the label and make sure you get one that doesn't have anything mixed in with it, because that if you don't, you're gonna wind up with some dead plants. Miracle-Gro is good for your veggies and begonias, but not so good for a regular, but not so much for a carnivorous plant. A lot of times the company who sends these plants out, gonna wrap them a lot of times in long fibered sphagnum moss, because it tends to hold on to a lot of moisture. Like of any other plant, if you want to know if your plants are of needing to be a repot, their roots will grow through the drainage holes. Maybe a little bit more. If you accidentally, if your fingers slip and you accidentally set trigger off a few traps, it's fine. Because this is a little bit wet already, I'm gonna hold off on watering it. There we go. Here is one Venus flytrap all potted up. It'll be okay like this for a little while. When you see when you start to see this, see your flytrap begin to its leaves start, its traps start to die off, don't be overly concerned about it. It's because that their leaves do continue to grow non-stop, and it does keep forming new traps all the time. So don't be too worried about it, about the plant's leaves dying. It's perfectly natural as it's adjusting. I have hope you find this video useful. Give me a thumbs up if you happen to like it. Drop me a comment if you'd like to see more content like this. Just be sure to let me know if I happen to get some fly trap seeds from my own plants this year. Be sure to let me know if I happen to have carnivorous some of Venus flytrap seeds. I can and I'll try and make a video out of how you get them started. And I'll see you guys next time.